This island country in South Asia is known for its breathtaking landscapes, pristine beaches, lush tea plantations, and ancient ruins. It has a rich cultural heritage and diverse wildlife. I'm so excited to give you a warm welcome to Sri Lanka. I will spend 8 days in Sri Lanka and will explore different cities.
My first stop is Colombo. This is the capital and the largest city in the country. I'm in Gangaramaya, one of the oldest and largest Buddhist temples in Sri Lanka.
It was built in the late 19th century
and it is said to have relics of Buddha's hair. It's a busy day today in the temple because people are celebrating Vesak Day, which commemorates the birth, enlightenment, and death of Buddha.
There are several pavilions and countless images of Buddha within the complex where devotees can offer flowers, light candles, and pray. There's also a small museum that holds more Buddha statues from all over the world and many other antique collectibles. My next destination is just a few minutes walk from the temple.
This is the Seema Malakaya, an island temple floating on the emerald green waters of the Vihara Lake. This was built in the late 19th century, and this is not really a place of worship but where people could reflect, meditate, so you would see people meditating in one of its many pavilions. And there's also a small museum.
This particular section, surrounded by seated Buddhas, is the central pavilion. It gives you a great view of the Vihara Lake. On the other side of the platform is the courtyard where you would see the sacred Bodhi tree and another large statue of the seated Buddha.
I'm in Vihara Mahadevi Park. This is the largest and oldest park in Colombo. This was previously called Victoria Park after Queen Victoria until it was renamed after Queen Vihara Mahadevi, the mother of the former king of Sri Lanka.
On one end of the park, you would see the Colombo Town Hall. On the other end, you would see the John de Silva Memorial Theatre. There are many things to do in the park. You can watch horses grazing. You can ride a pedal boat. You can go around the park on this horse-drawn carriage, or you can just relax like what these guys are doing.
I'm in the Lotus Tower. This is a 350-meter telecommunications tower with a viewing platform on top. Most of the vloggers that I've watched, they would skip going to the Lotus Tower, but I personally like going to viewing platforms, and the views on top are really good. You would have a nice view of the coastal area, the lake, and also of the reclamation project, the port city. But I also agree $20 is a bit much considering that the viewing platform is all that they're offering right now, because the shops, the stores, the restaurants, they're still not open. I'm in the Independence Square. This was built to celebrate the independence of the country from Britain in 1948. Today, the square is being used for religious ceremonies and for its annual National Day celebrations.
On ordinary days, people would go to the Independence Square to jog because it's right next to the park, or people could visit the museum. My next destination is found somewhere in the Peta Market.
I'm in the Jami-Ul-Alfar Mosque. It's a mouthful and I'm sure I didn't say it right,
but it's more popularly known as the Colombo Red Mosque
because of the red and white color of the building.
Visitors are allowed to go inside the mosque except when it's prayer time. From the Peta Market, I took another tuk-tuk ride to go to the One Galface shopping mall. It's a large mall and they carry a lot of the Western brands. I did some grocery shopping and had my early dinner. My next destination is just across the shopping mall.
I'm in Galway's Green. This is a long stretch of land next to the coast, and this is located just south of Colombo Fort. This is where the Dutch used to place their cannons, and you can still see them up until now. But today, this is where the locals hang out, have a picnic, fly kites, and catch the sunset.
They have a lot of food stalls by the beach, and I regret not trying any of the street food. Maybe next time. Today is quite crowded because it's a Sunday. You can spend hours here just relaxing and enjoying the breeze. That's the end of day 1. I'd like to show you my Airbnb in Colombo. This is a nice boutique hotel close to the Vihara Lake. This is my second day in Colombo. The first thing that I did was to explore the rooftop of my Airbnb. They have a small pool and a nice view of the city. After breakfast, I set off to my first stop of the day.
I'm in the Colombo National Museum.
They have an extensive archaeological gallery featuring ancient artifacts including pottery, jewelry, statues, and tools, providing insights into Sri Lanka's prehistoric and early historic periods. They also have exhibitions on historical artifacts including ancient coins, inscriptions, royal regalia, and religious objects, offering glimpses into the island's rich cultural and religious practices. I bought the combo ticket for entry to the National Museum and the Museum of Natural History for about $5. This museum focuses on Sri Lanka's biodiversity, featuring displays of taxidermy animals, preserved specimens, and the highlight for me is the skeleton of an elephant and a blue whale.
I'm in the Old Dutch Hospital. This was built in 1681 and is considered the oldest building in the Colombo Fort area. This is no longer used as a hospital, and today you would see restaurants and shops here.
I originally planned to stay in Colombo for just one night but decided to stay for 2. I had to move to another hotel on the second night. This is also a nice boutique hotel with a cozy cafe on the ground floor. I had a quick dinner and called it a day. This is day 3 and I am on my way to the south of the island. I was picked up by my tour guide and he will take me to the other parts of Sri Lanka for the next 6 days. If you have limited time and an ambitious itinerary, this is the best way to go.
My second stop is the city of Galle. This is in the southwestern section of Sri Lanka, and this is just a 2-hour drive from Colombo. If you take the train, it'll take you around 3 hours.
Galle Fort is a historic fortress located in the city of Galle. It was originally built by the Portuguese in the 16th century and fortified by the Dutch in the 17th century. The fort is now a UNESCO World Heritage Site. You can walk through the perimeter walls and stop at every bastion and enjoy the amazing views of the Indian Ocean. Walk further south to the very tip of the peninsula and you will find the lighthouse.
Probably the most popular spot in Galle is the lighthouse.
The old lighthouse was damaged in a fire and it was replaced by the existing one in 1938. There are many charming restaurants and shops within the fort. Just a few minutes walk from the lighthouse, I stumbled upon this building of an old Dutch hospital with restaurants inside. I picked this restaurant with a nice view of the ocean. This is a great way to enjoy my seafood curry. Next, I went to a turtle hatchery. This is also a turtle sanctuary and they take care of injured turtles. It is sad to see turtles with missing fins or those that are sick because they ate a lot of plastic. These baby turtles will be released to the ocean in a few days. My third stop in Galle is the Japanese Peace Pagoda located high up on a hill. This is a striking Buddhist monument and it stands as a symbol of peace and harmony. There are 4 avatars of the Buddha surrounding the stupa. This place offers panoramic views of the Indian Ocean and you can spot Galle Fort from here. I am spending one night in Galle and this is my Airbnb. This Airbnb is located in the Unuwatuna area where the beaches are. In fact, one of the beaches is just 10 minutes walk from here. I spent the rest of the afternoon in Unuwatuna Beach, the largest beach among the many beaches in Galle. This is also the busiest and has many shops and eating places around. It wasn't crowded at all when I visited, so it was a nice, peaceful time I had on the beach. Maybe because it was raining that day and the waves are also very strong. I had dinner here. I really wanted to order Sri Lankan crabs, but it was still too expensive for me. I had garlic butter shrimps and this was so good. I went back to my Airbnb after this and prepared for a long day tomorrow. This is day number 4 and we left Galle at 6:30 a.m. so we could reach Yala by 9 a.m.
I'm making a quick stop in Yala to visit the Yala National Park. This is a nature reserve and a wildlife sanctuary. The size of the park is 130,000 hectares and some sections of the park are open to the public and you will get to see elephants, leopards, monkeys, deers, and many more.
Things are more expensive when you're traveling solo. I paid $95 for the ticket and for the 3-hour rental of the safari jeep. I was satisfied overall with the visit. We got to see many animals in their natural habitat. You definitely need a guide who knows their way around the park and can spot animals from a very long distance. The highlight of the trip for me was when a family of elephants emerged from the trees and walked in front of us. We left Yala around 1 p.m. and drove 3 hours to my next city.
My fourth stop is the beautiful town of Yala. This is a small, laid-back town surrounded by mountains and tea plantations. I'm in the Ravana Waterfall. This is just a 10-minute drive from Yala Main Road. This is a 3-tier waterfall and the base of the waterfall is easily accessible, but going up to the 2nd and 3rd level is quite a challenge.
It was almost evening when I reached the center of the town of Yala, so I checked into my Airbnb and called it a day. This is a very unique Airbnb. The rooms are high up the mountain, but the domes are well equipped and very comfortable. You are surrounded by nature and the views are breathtaking. They also have room service, so I ordered my chicken fried noodles and it was delicious. This is day 5 and I will be exploring more of Yala today. It was amazing waking up to this scene. From my Airbnb, you'll have a clear view of the 9-arch bridge and the surrounding landscape. The host offered to serve breakfast at the balcony so you can eat it while enjoying the scenery. By the way, the canopy is not very comfortable. It's just for taking photos more than anything else. This pancake filled with sweet coconut is just amazing. It was also great timing because the train passed by the bridge as I finished my breakfast. I made my way to the 9-arch bridge to have a closer look. It was about 20 minutes walk from the Airbnb.
If there's one thing you can't miss when visiting Yala is going to the 9-arch bridge. This is an incredible piece of architecture. The 9-arch is a railway bridge connecting the stations of Yala and Damodara. The trains pass by the bridge 5 times in a day, so make sure to time your visit when the train comes.
I was in the middle of the bridge when the train came, so I ran because I wanted to be on the other end of the bridge so I can take better photos. As you can see, there were so many people waiting for the train.
I'm in Little Adams Peak. This is a relatively easy climb and it'll take you around 1.5 hours to go up and down the mountain.
It is named Little Adam because it is a smaller version of the more challenging Adams Peak, but Little Adam still rewards its visitors with breathtaking panoramic views of the surrounding tea plantations, valleys, and misty mountains. When you go back to the base of the mountain, there are many activities that you can do, like going on this giant swing. I decided to go ziplining as I have not done this before. The ticket costs $30. Although it was a short ride, I still enjoyed it. I flew over tea plantations and the view was great. My next stop is a tea plantation. I don't know exactly where this was. My tour guide brought me here, but this is a tea plantation next to a tea factory. For about $6, a nice lady tea picker will take you to the hill where tea plants grow, and you can also try picking tea leaves yourself. Only certain leaves are picked and can be used for making tea. For another $6, you can also have a tour of the factory, but I did not go. After the tea plantation visit, I spent the rest of the day resting in my Airbnb, enjoying endless cups of tea. I had to save my energy for an exciting day tomorrow. This is day number 6 and I started my day early. After breakfast, I went to the train station. I will be taking the train from Yala to my next destination. I heard train rides in Sri Lanka are epic and train tickets get sold out very quickly, so I purchased mine online several days in advance. For the journey from Yala to Kandy, the ticket costs around $8. Finally, the train arrived. It was about 20 minutes late. My seat is in the first class section and it was quite comfortable.
Train rides are a great way to travel in Sri Lanka, and the journey from Yala to Kandy is the most beautiful.
The train ride, if Kandy is your final stop, takes about 7 hours. The journey is definitely something to remember. The views as the train goes across endless fields, as it goes around the sides of the misty mountains, it was a sight to behold. My fifth stop is the city of Kandy. This is the second largest city in Sri Lanka and is the historical and cultural center of the country.
If you're traveling from Yala, you can make a quick stop in the town of Dambulla before reaching Kandy and visit the Ambuluwawa Tower.
If you're not scared of heights, going up the tower is worth it and you'll have a panoramic view of the Dambulla landscape. The ticket costs less than $2, but from the base of the mountain, you'll need to hire a tuk-tuk to take you up the complex, which costs around $10 round trip. It was early evening when I reached the city center, so I checked into my Airbnb after a quick dinner. This is day 7 and I will be exploring Kandy.
In the heart of the city is Kandy Lake. This is an artificial lake built in 1807.
The lake is beautifully landscaped with palm trees, flowering plants, and a variety of bird species, making it a popular spot for leisurely walks, picnics, and boat rides.
I'm in the Temple of the Tooth Relic. This is one of the holiest shrines in the Buddhist world. It is said to house one of the most important Buddhist relics, a tooth of the Buddha.
Foreigners pay about $6 to go inside the temple. There are 3 ceremonies that take place each day, and that is when people will get the chance to see the golden relic holder for the sacred tooth of Buddha.
This statue on top of the hills of Bahirawakanda is one of the tallest statues of Buddha in Sri Lanka, and you can see it from almost all points of Kandy.
The temple is a bit far from the city center and it is high up the mountain, so you'll either have to have a private car or a tuk-tuk to take you there. The interesting thing about the statue is that there are stairs at the back of the Buddha which will lead you to a viewing platform. This is a nice viewing point to see the city of Kandy from above. The price of the ticket is less than $1.
I'm in the Royal Botanical Gardens. This is the oldest formal garden in Sri Lanka, with its history dating back to the year 1371. It sits on 147 acres of land and it houses more than 4,000 species of plants and trees with a wide variety of orchids.
The price of the ticket is around $6 for foreigners. This is one of the better botanical gardens that I've visited. The place is huge and there's a wide variety of plants and trees that are well maintained. That's my last stop in Kandy. I truly enjoyed this city, but I had to leave for my next city in the early afternoon.
My 6th and 7th stops are in the towns of Dambulla and Sigiriya. In Sigiriya, I will be visiting the structure behind me, the Sigiriya Lion's Rock, and in Dambulla, I will be visiting the Dambulla Cave Temple.
I am staying one night in Sigiriya. If you're visiting the Sigiriya Rock, it is best to do so you can be there as early as possible. This is day number 8 and we left for the Sigiriya Rock at 7 AM. The ticket for foreigners is $30 US.
The Sigiriya is without a doubt the most important historical monument in Sri Lanka. It is a UNESCO World Heritage Site and locals refer to it as the 8th wonder of the world.
This is an ancient rock fortress reaching nearly 200 meters high. This was used as the capital of a former king of Sri Lanka back in the year 477. There are 1,200 steps to go up the fortress, and depending on the crowd and your fitness, can take you 30 minutes to 1.5 hours to climb up the rock. From Sigiriya, we drove for 1 hour to get to the town of Dambulla.
I'm in Dambulla Cave Temple. This is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. The cave temple is a complex of 5 caves which have been converted into shrine rooms with more than 150 images of Buddha.
The ticket costs around $5 and the climb up to the temple will take you around 15 minutes. And that ends my trip in Sri Lanka. It was an amazing 8 days. I almost couldn't believe that I covered 7 cities and was able to visit 4 World Heritage Sites. From Dambulla, it was a 3-hour drive to the Colombo Airport. I reached with more than enough time for my evening flight back home. I can't wait to visit Sri Lanka again.